You women, man.
Why do you say that?
I should have got a prenup. My net worth is already $100 million. I don't feel like you're entitled to none of that.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Elevate. My name is Jessica.
My name's Darwin.
And today's topic is marriage a risk? And what are your thoughts on prenups?
I should have got a prenup.
Whoa, okay. What you prenupping?
My dog.
Well, okay. So you want to start? What are your thoughts on this? Is marriage a risk?
It's definitely a risk.
Why do you say that?
You women, man.
We women? You better fix that.
Nah, it is a risk because at the end of the day, marriage, you're committed to one person forever.
It's definitely a risk. I feel like it's a risk myself. Before you get married to a person, you should really be sure. You know, you can never be too sure because people do change and things do happen. But there's people that I know that get married just like it's not that serious for them.
Yeah.
You know, like not everybody, but there are cases where I feel like certain women feel like they just want a wedding, for example, and they'll get married to this person. And like marriage is such a serious thing, in my opinion.
And it's weird because it's also a risk not to be married because you end up just like moving from person to person and you just never know. Like
physically, like being in contact with so many different people is a risk?
No, I mean like I guess
yeah, that too.
I mean that's a risk too, but I just mean in life, like you're gonna get through life and just not find marriage. I mean, I guess some people don't get married.
Yeah,
but I feel
some
like
people don't aspire to be married.
I feel like those people that don't aspire to be married is because they fear being married, not because they don't want to.
I think most people that say that fear marriage. Yeah, because I have heard that in the past a lot where it's like, oh no, you know, I don't really care to be married. Yeah. But then sometimes their actions or maybe the things they might say here and there gets you to understand that it's not that they really don't want to be married, but more of that they're afraid to be married because they're afraid of things not working out. And at the end of the day, it is a risk. You know, when you choose to marry this person, whether it be through court or actually through church, which if you do to church is just both because you're legally married, you're also incorporating religion into it, which for some people is even more serious as it was for me. Like when I chose to get married, I got married through church and that was a very big deal for me because to me, that's a very serious commitment that I'm making to God, you know, that I will be with this person till death do us part, you know, through sickness and health. And I didn't take it lightly. But we were talking about this. So this is why we chose this topic today, because we were talking about this in the car the other day as we were driving. Can you tell us the little story that brought up this conversation?
Yeah, it was somebody that told me that they're actually going through a divorce right now, and the person is taking half of everything. One of the partners is taking half of everything that person owned.
They're both getting half and half, right?
Yeah.
Of everything, the assets. Mm-hmm.
The problem is that the person didn't have anything prior to marrying that guy.
And this is why marriage is a risk. Depending on the situation, how old are you when you met this person, what you have when you meet this person. Because, for instance, you and I, prenups wasn't even in our head. We were so young when we met each other that we didn't have anything. So there was nothing to protect. But in previous episodes, if you guys have been watching our episodes, but if you haven't, I don't know what episode it was. But in previous episodes, I had mentioned that especially as a man, when you have money, you need to be sure that whoever you're dating isn't just a gold digger. And I feel like the way that a man or a woman can protect their assets in the dating phase is don't share how much money you have right off the bat. Like, yeah, that person can know that you're well off and you're stable, but they don't necessarily have to know that you have a lot of money, because I feel like that can be very the person might not be really into you, but the moment that they find that out, there's some people out there that will, there's some evil people.
Yeah.
You know,
there's
like
people just looking for that.
Right. For looking for that opportunity. And I don't know what happened to that man specifically, and if that really was the case with this woman, or what he did, because I'm not, I don't know the story. But if things are the way he says, where he had a lot of money when he met her and she had nothing, and now it's like she's taking half of his stuff. Yeah, that hurts.
The way
I feel like it's very unfair, but that's the way marriage works.
The way I see it, this is why prenups are in place. First of all, I feel like if I come into this relationship and let's say I already have money, let's say my net worth is already $100 million. Let's just put that number out there. Mm-hmm. And I meet you, and that's what I'm worth, $100 million. I don't feel like you're entitled to none of that.
I don't either.
Because you did not help me build that. Now.
Agreed.
Let's say we team up, we get married, and then whatever, we spend a few years together, and now my net worth is, from that 100, we turned it into 200.
Yeah.
You're entitled to half of the 100 that we gained, not to the whole 200, because you didn't help me build the beginning.
Yeah. But that's why some people believe in the importance of prenups. And I feel like they are important. Because at the end of the day, if you're a woman who isn't, interested in that, and that isn't your goal when you meet this person and you get together with this person, you shouldn't have a problem with that. If that's not what you're after, if that's not your pure intention from the very get-go, I don't see why you would feel like, oh, no, I don't want to get into anything with you if you want to get a prenup. Then that tells me you have bad intentions. Yeah,
if I offer you to get a prenup, like if I have money and you off the bat are like, nah, I don't want to get married because I don't believe in prenups, then I'll be like, nah, that's a red flag for me.
But then some women could have the argument. I can see some women making the argument that, oh, well, that person is just, they're going to treat me like I'm less than them. Like they're automatically off the bat being selfish or self-centered, making me feel like, oh, everything I have doesn't belong to you.
I don't think...
Honestly, I think when I say it that way, I feel like everything also depends on how everything is said. Like, I don't believe that any man should degrade any woman or vice versa, depending on what they have. That's definitely a red flag. I wouldn't marry a person who, no matter how much money you have, who makes me feel like I ain't worth enough or I'm not on their level because I don't have as much money as they do. But if that person is respectful and they just want things to be clear moving forward, and just to make sure that you're not there for the wrong reasons, I think there should be no issue.
Yeah, and I don't know how the rules of prenups work, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that you're entitled to some things. It's just not like not having one, that you're entitled to literally half of everything. So there has to be something in place that obviously you guys work together, so you have to be getting something. But to go back to, is marriage a risk? I remember when we was getting married, because obviously we got married young. So
how old were we when we got married?
23.
No.
Well, 26, sorry.
Yeah, 26.
23, Armani was born.
Go ahead. Que metía de pata. It's okay, baby. I still love you. It's okay.
It's okay. I barely remember
not that
my
serious.
birthday.
Yeah, I forget things all the time.
I feel like people thought I was crazy.
Because you were getting married so young? Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, when you look at marriages, especially like us.
Like who? Who was making you feel crazy?
No, like people in general. Our generation, like minorities, because usually minorities, most marriages fail. Like the majority of time, all you hear is when you drive down the Bronx is like 1-800-DIVORCE. Like But that's what you see, like divorce papers everywhere and like billboards of like, let's get divorced. Like you don't go around California, Malibu and see like divorce billboards. So it was kind of like, good luck.
Yeah.
I showed you motherfuckers now.
Yeah. No, God forbid, but we're very good. I think that was the best decision we made. I don't think things haven't changed for us. You know how sometimes like people say, well, just wait, just wait. After 5 years, you get sick of him. Like you get sick of her. Like you get sick of each other. Like,
I mean, I asked you this the other day. It was random. It was like, because the anniversary is coming up now, September 4th. And I was like, do you feel like we're
like our relationship is stagnant or like boring already? And I don't. I really don't. I feel like now things are getting interesting. We've always had something going on. Yeah. And I feel like what keeps our relationship this way is that we have so many similar goals and we're always working towards them together. So, and we share a lot of things, like, for example, this podcast, this YouTube channel, like us doing like TikTok videos as a couple, like all those things. And even prior to that, we just always dreamed together.
Yeah. Because even when we went into photography, it was always like a team. Like, you
yeah.
do makeup, I'll do the pictures.
Yeah. So I feel like that keeps the spark, that keeps things interesting, and not just in a sexual way, because we're literally like best friends.
It's so
That's cute to say. But we are, because I can tell him anything, and he can tell me anything.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of marriages fail too because there is no that communication that we always speak about. Like if, let's say,
like
somebody
transparent, like I'm sorry, it surprises me and is very mind-boggling to me sometimes that there's couples that have been together for 10, 15, 20 years, and you hear them talking, let's say, to another person, a friend, and they're like saying, because fulano is doing this and that, and I can't really talk to him about it, and it's mind-blowing to me that you feel more comfortable to tell a friend than to tell the person you live with and you've lived with for years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's just crazy to me. You sleep with this person. Like, you have children with this person and you aren't comfortable enough for it could be the most uncomfortable conversation or something that's really bothering you with your body or, your time, your intimacy, and you don't have the trust to be straightforward with your person. Like, there's some serious problem going on there. Like, I feel like if it gets to that point where you can't be fully transparent, no matter how embarrassing the conversation, the point of topic is, you need to go get help, like therapy, because
I feel like there's people that, I mean, I don't know them, but that, like, let's say sex obviously is plays an important role in marriage. And let's say you don't like the way something either feels or you don't like doing it, you don't feel comfortable doing it, and you would just do it because your partner, let's say, likes it, and you don't tell them, like,
but it bothers you a lot.
And you just like suck it up and just like never enjoy your intimacy with your partner, where that's like what the magic is done. So it's like, it's like sacrifice that you take. Like if you was to have a conversation with me that you don't like something, we're like work around it, or, not to make this R-rated, but those are just conversations that you need to have.
You have to. It's what makes the intimacy on another level. Yeah. Because if you don't know what that person likes or doesn't like on that level, you guys will never get to a place where you guys are both fully enjoying the process. You will never know what having amazing sex is if you don't have those type of conversations. Because when both of you are enjoying that moment, if you know, you know.
Yeah. It's not stressful. But yeah,
But yeah,
Shift away
this
from-
topic is not that. But okay, how did we get here?
Well, just communication, like that people don't communicate, and that's why marriages fail.
Absolutely. It sounds so cliche and so like, oh my God, repetitive. Like everybody says that, duh, that's what needs to happen. But a lot of people don't do it. Yeah. Or they don't do it enough. And they just fall off. Like things, like after years pass by and the routine of things can really make things boring. I can understand how somebody falls out of love with their partner after many, many years if you guys don't plan to bring the spark. Like you literally have to plan. When you are married, things don't just magically happen. Like you need to plan out, we're going to have date nights or, figure out what each one of you likes to do and take the time to do it at least once every 2 weeks. At the very least, once every month, if you don't have like babysitters and you have kids, and there's a lot of things that revolve around this situation. But it's important that you guys do something that makes both of you happy.
Yeah, because marriage is an investment, right? Mm-hmm. It's treated like a business, right? If you don't dedicate time and invest into your business, to learn your business, make sure your business is profitable, it's not going to work. Your business
is a very good example.
Your business will fail, right?
For sure.
So in order for your marriage to continue to grow and profit of all the years that you come together, you need to build with it. You need to,
you need to fully commit.
Yeah.
And invest yourself both ways, not just the man with the woman or the woman with the man,
and not just sexually either. Like I don't, right? I mean, invest in in
every aspect. Yeah. Every aspect. Sex is just one part. Like there's so many parts, and
it's not, honestly, me as a man saying it's an important part, but it's not the most important part.
It's not.
It's an amazing part.
Why? Why do you say it's not the most important part?
Because the sex could be great, but if after sex, if we can't have not right after, but if we can't have a conversation or discuss about how we're going to further in life, like sex is not going to get us anywhere.
Can we get a round of applause for that, please? That was great. That was great. That's an excellent point. And that's why a woman, I always say this, you need to be more than just beauty.
A sex object.
Right. You need to be more than just a sex object. You need to have brains. You need to have some substance up here. Because a man, plenty of men will probably have intimacy with you, and be with you. But if you don't have substance, and we're talking about a high value man who has goals and ambitions, you will just be that to that man. You will never be looked at as wife material. You will never be looked at as someone that they want to build a life with.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but to each his own. But I would never aspire to just be an object to a person. I'm way much more than that. And I think you are too.
Agreed.
Okay, so marriage is definitely a risk. But in my opinion, is a risk worth taking as long as you find a person that you feel will be truly compatible with your life goals.
Yeah, and also people don't understand how powerful it is. Like when people say that phrase, like power couple, like when you are with another person and you guys are working together, like you literally are a power couple if you work together. Because just think about it, it's two people working on one goal now. Like if it was one person working on a goal, obviously that person can achieve it. But now bringing another person into the mix is like, okay, we can do this together.
Right. It takes off the load from that just that one person. Inevitably, that's just the way it is. Two people work faster than one. Yeah,
but I think other people that either have gone through bad experiences are scared of it, like get into the hair like, oh, marriage is just about you guys are always fighting, you guys are always complaining, and you get that into your head and you like don't focus on your marriage because fuck what somebody else's marriage look like. Work on yours.
Yeah.
Like that's their house. Work on your house.
Absolutely. And your house can be completely different. You just need to be, if you're a man, you just need to learn how to understand your woman. You need to know what makes her happy, what makes her upset. Study that woman. You love that woman, make things work. Like what is the problem? Sometimes women aren't that complicated. It's just that the man isn't providing the right environment for that woman to flourish.
Yeah.
The man is not providing the right environment for that woman to feel safe, for that woman to fully put her guard down and just be relaxed.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes that's just it. If you as a man are always giving your woman red flags and reasons for her to feel like she should be fearing you or, you know, what you do when you're outside the house, then of course she's going to be always in a bad mood and she's always going to be, you know, bringing stuff up because you're breeding that into your home. And same thing goes for the woman. It's vice versa. It's not just a man thing. It's not just a woman thing. Sometimes men aren't that complicated either. And there's a lot of women who just bitch about everything.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be common ground and both people need to understand that nobody is perfect. And sometimes there's things that you have to compromise and you have to understand from the very beginning, what are those things that are you willing to compromise and what are those things that you're not willing to compromise? And both of you need to understand what those things are before you get into something serious with this person.
Yeah, and to the men out there that feel like you're the man of the house and just because of that, like you can't wash a plate or do some basic shit. Even if your wife is a stay-at-home mom, it don't matter. They still get tired. Like, man up.
You're making me proud. No, but it's
the truth. I mean, you can consider yourself the most alpha person in the world. It doesn't matter.
No, I think that
you're not alpha if your woman is suffering.
Exactly. I think that the best way, in my opinion, that you can measure how alpha a male is in their home is how secure and how relaxed or how do you say this? How confident you see that woman is with her family and her man.
Yeah.
Because listen, and it's not, you know, again, every household will be different. Every household won't be the same. There's relationships where the woman will want to be a housewife and she doesn't want her man to do the dishes, you know, like maybe one day he'll do the dishes if she's sick or something like that. And the man is just the breadwinner.
Yeah.
And they're both happy this way, but they've sat down and established this is how we want our lives to be and this is how we would both be happy. And that's totally fine. And if it's the other way around and that works for you too, like whatever works for you is okay. But, you know, it's important to keep the other person's emotions in mind and how they're feeling and to have empathy. I think having empathy in a relationship is crucial.
Yeah.
Like you can't just disregard the other person's feelings, whether they're a man or a woman. Like as a woman, you can't tell your man, oh, you can't feel this way because you're a man, you know. Men get tired too. Like they're human. And so it's very important to have empathy with your partner so that you both don't feel like, oh, you know, so-and-so just doesn't care for me. I'm just an object that she or he uses, you know. They don't really actually care for how I'm feeling today. Nobody wants to be in a relationship like that. That sucks.
1,000%.
Yes.
So to wrap this up, marriage is a risk, but it's a great one.
Yes. It's a risk.
High risk, high reward.
Yes, I feel like it's a risk worth taking. And if you're a person who has money, I feel like a prenup definitely is a good idea.
Well, speak to your lawyer, speak to a professional, and they'll let you know. Don't take our advice.
In my opinion, I think a prenup is definitely a good idea. It's very important to protect your assets if you have a lot of assets before, because you don't want your hard work to just go down the drain. That has to be very painful. Yeah. To have someone come into your life and you trust them with everything you have. You marry this person and then you figure out that this person has been using you the whole time. Like, that hurts to the core. I don't even want to imagine.
That's why some dudes go crazy.
Yeah, I don't even want to imagine the pain that person could feel, the anger that person could feel if that other person who they trusted with everything that they've worked so hard for does them wrong.
Yeah.
I feel for anybody that goes through that, whether man or woman.
Facts. Well, that wraps up this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Absolutely. Don't forget to turn on the post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a video. And for those of you listening,
make sure to leave a review and rating.
Yes, that's it for today's podcast. Thank you so much for listening or watching. Until next time.
Peace.